Meanwhile, at the starting line, you're on board with Paul Dallenbach. He is pulling up to the starting line to get ready for his run. And Paul from Basalt, Colorado, well as Barber Saab Racing. So he is now on course, and Dallenbach at 4:46.30 in his qualification effort now has to come up with the run of his life if he wants the record that Tajima has already lowered. On board, and look at the way this wheel gets sawed around as he is making his way up the mountain. There's a shift and a downshift.
Yeah,
Close to the edge, back on board now with Paul Dallenbach. And hooking the tire is important, but what about the wing?
well, that's a problem. The wing sticks out almost as far as the tire. And earlier in the week, some of the cars were crashing because they hooked the wing in the dirt bank and around they went for a spin.
And that's exactly what happened to David Donner during qualifying. He actually cut it.
Keep that cornering speed up so we can accelerate out of the corners and let the wings do their job.
Here we're back on board with Paul Dallenbach. Now don't count Paul out either. Boy, these guys, they're getting more brave every year. And who knows, someday one of these cars will be sitting in that museum, maybe as the record holder. Right now, Paul Dallenbach has lowered Gary Lee Canoyer's time. 4:26.37 for Paul Dallenbach. Down on horsepower, but look at this shot. Can you imagine? That little speck you see down there is Paul Dallenbach, but you can hear the motor all the way up here.
Little speck of the car, but look at the size of the wing. These guys, these are specialty cars. His grasp, he's got to go for it.
We're back with Paul Dallenbach as he works his way up the mountain. Boy, he is flying. Now, it's a love-hate relationship with the Unsers. Some people really cheer for him. Others want to see people like Paul Dallenbach, David Donner, Gary Lee Canoyer, anybody but the Unsers win. And they have won so many times. Dallenbach has the last real chance of taking the title of Quest to break the overall mark. Now, here's the last running vehicle on the course. Paul Dallenbach, the only one left with a chance of beating Nobuhiro Tajima's mark of 10:44.22. And if he knew he was the last one with a chance, how nervous do you think he'd be?
He'd be real nervous, but he knows right now he's got one job. Get to the finish line as clean as possible, go for that record.
It's going to be close. It is going to be very close. One turn to go. Watch the clock on the right. Does he do it? Yes!
All right!
10:43.63. You're looking over the shoulder of the new king of the mountain, Paul Dallenbach, and we'll be back to talk with him in just a minute.